Hey neighbor, you mind reaching out your kitchen window, right?
Yeah. So recently, there was an article all over in the news talking about how Utah is one of the top 18 places that it's better to build than to buy.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us a little bit about that. Is that, first off, is that fake news, Cash, or is that true?
No, I think at this point in time it's very true. And there's a lot of reasons for that. Number one, there's still a pretty good amount of land that's available along the Wasatch Front. And there's a lot of really good builders, throughout that area that are able to do, some of the cookie cutter builds, but some very high-end builds. And so, all of these come together to create a very good building environment in this state.
I mean, that's a good point about there not being like that much land.
Yeah, and so this is what's going to be interesting as we move forward into the future. When you look at the Wasatch Front, you can look at it as pretty much an alley from up to Brigham City all the way down to really south of Orem. And you've got the Wasatch Front that's running, and then on the other side you've got the Oquirrh Mountains down south, and then as you get up north you've got the Great Salt Lake. And that creates a complete funnel of buildable land in that corridor. So right now we're in a pretty decent position. There's a lot of farmers and there's a lot of vacant land that is being purchased by these builders, and they're building really beautiful, amazing communities. Here's the hard thing. We're running out. And we're in a very unique location because you can only go so far up the Wasatch Mountains, right? The higher up you build, the more expensive it gets. And it's an exponential expense where the higher up you go, you've got to retain, you've got to take dirt out, you've got to support in different ways. And it becomes completely uneconomical at a certain point to build on those mountains. And so we're not there yet, but we're getting there pretty quick. So one thing that we've noticed as we've been building along the Wasatch Front is we're starting to get significantly more pressure from the cities to do higher density zoning, which for a builder like us is really hard. We at Symphony Homes, we specialize in custom, large, beautiful, just immaculate dream homes. That's what we're all about.
Award-winning kitchens.
Award-winning kitchens. Yep. Yeah, our kitchens take and leave the rest of the home, but you'll love our kitchens. No, the rest of the home's pretty phenomenal too. But so for us, really third acre to half acre parcels, I mean, that's our bread and butter. That's what our plans are built for. That's what our communities are built for. And the result is gorgeous communities, lots of space, especially between the homes, right? You're seeing that a lot with builders right now where it's like, hey, do you want a cup of sugar? Hey neighbor, you mind reaching out your kitchen window, right?
Yeah.
And that's not why people move to Utah, okay? That's why you move to California, because there's no space, there's no land, but I guess the weather's nice or something down there. I don't know. So if you're looking to build and you want to build on a decent sized piece of land where your neighbors are minimum 20 feet apart, maximum probably a lot more, now is kind of the time. We've got some communities coming up in the Kaysville area, and even we've got one in Centerville right now, where our initial approach was we wanted third to just under half acre lots. And you go to the city, you submit your plat map, and the city says, well, no, we need you to get some higher density in here. And on one hand, there's some logic to it, okay? There's a whole generation coming up that is really not in a position to afford homes as they currently sit. I mean, most people I know, millennials and younger, their first home is probably not a single family home on a third acre that doesn't need a lot of updating. So, part of this is the cities that want to create more purchasing opportunities for the youth. So yeah, they get the townhomes, they get the 0.15 acre lots, sometimes less. Condos and apartments, I think, are going to become much more popular. But if you want that, that's great. You've got all the time in the world. But if you want to be on a third acre piece of property or greater, now is the time to make the move. Now is the time to find a builder you like and stop delaying that dream home on that dream lot, because there is a timeline here. And if growth continues along the Wasatch Front, I mean, I think last I heard we were anticipating another 3 or 4 million people in the next 15 years, and when that happens, we're going to be out of land. I mean, just flat out, we're going to be out of land. So yeah, try to get in there, find a builder you like, and find a piece of land that you want to be on for the next 15 and 20 years. The other really cool side of this is if you can get yourself a really nice, beautiful home on the size of lot you want to be on, think about the scarcity of that, right? If 10 years from now, these cities are only going to zone 0.15 acre parcels, can you imagine how much your big lot in your open community is going to be worth 15 years from now? I mean, I think the equity and growth on that is just exponential compared to those smaller lots and what we're seeing today.